Alright, how we doing, folks? Your boom. Welcome to your 5 numbers after the name of little games beating action over here, man. A little Octopath Traveler. So this bad boy came out on the Switch a minute ago, honestly, a good amount ago. I thought about buying it. I thought it'd be a good Switch game to have. I believe it maybe came out a little bit around the time that I was actually going to go to Spain on vacation. So I was like, this might add up, long RPG, blah, blah. But I don't know, I kind of just didn't do it. I was like, I wasn't really like in the mood of playing just a long RPG like that. I wasn't in the mood of playing something turn-based. I just didn't do it when it came out. And then I saw it came out on Game Pass, and I was like, okay. I was like, hold up, I don't gotta pay for it? Alright. Because I've contemplated buying it again, but it's still like $60 on the Switch, or like 50 or something like that. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I was like, I ain't paying that much money for that. But on Game Pass, that's a whole different beast right here. So I actually played this. This was the first game I beat in the new apartment, even though I played most of it in the old apartment. It was the first one, so it's a marking point right there. The first one I beat in the new apartment. And I really enjoyed it. I do think it has some shortcomings. Ultimately, I'd probably give it like an 8.5, an 8, something like that. But it's really good. I mean, first off, the graphics look amazing. This whole like pixel art, like 3D, 2D kind of thing it has going on, to me works really, really well. It's really, really cool. The story, each character kind of has 8 characters, each one kind of has their own story. Some are better than others are kind of, but like, you know, it's interesting. I wish that they kind of merged a little bit more together. They really don't. I think that would have been interesting to me if by the end everybody was kind of doing their own thing, but for the most part, it's kind of each character exploring their own individual thing. You know, a lot of stuff is like level gated and stuff like that, which is fair, but since it's spread all around the map, it could be a little bit confusing sometimes. You just walk into the area and you're like, uh-oh. So there's a couple of things that I think could be improved in that sense. Combat is really good. I mean, it plays like a turn-based RPG kind of thing. I mean, I'm showing y'all here just how it goes. I probably wasn't even like that great at like min-maxing the whole thing in all fairness, but I still found it challenging at times, but fair. And I kind of was able to beat everybody I needed to beat or wanted to beat. The one crux that I did have was the leveling system. So you have 8 characters, but you can only take 4 in a party. So like I kind of ended up having like 3 main ones, and then the 4th one I would only take to their missions, and they'd be pretty damn weak by the time I got there. These things kind of go, you know, it takes a minute to like level up, and I think the missions you have to be like level 10, 20, 30, and like 40 kind of thing. Each one was kind of like a different level or somewhere along those lines to give you an idea. But if you use a character for the level 10 mission, they're 10, but then you don't use them again, like you're going to go to his next mission, he's still going to be level 10, and you're like 20, so I ended up having like a core 3, and then like the 4th one kind of shuffled in and out depending on like what like happened and stuff like that. So I feel like if there was maybe some sort of XP share kind of thing to at least keep that other party member somewhat relevant without having to go in there, but that's part of your management too, that maybe you should be shuffling these guys in and out, and ultimately I was able to like kind of overcome that and just, you gotta do a little bit of grinding to get this, you know, other party member up there. But like, you know, that's kind of like a slight fault of it itself. But the combat system works great. It's fluid, you know, you gotta think through it. These enemies have like weaknesses, they can break their shields and hit them harder kind of stuff. There's a bunch of like, you know, there's jobs and stuff you could attach to each character, and each one ends up having like a special like trait kind of thing. And you can level those out and then mix and match them. So I ended up having characters that had traits for a bunch of different jobs, and that kind of ends up like helping out depending on like what their main job is. There's like other special jobs that you could kind of get as well. So there's levels to it, and there's layers to it of strategy that I thoroughly enjoyed in a game that looks beautiful, runs great on the Xbox Series X. I mean, it was smooth sailing, sound like butter right there. So if you're interested in a turn-based RPG, I would definitely give Octopath a Traveler. If turn-based RPGs isn't your thing, you can skip this game because it ain't gonna work for you.